Today we are going to have a TAQS stream. Just trying to find somewhere to put my melodica in case it's necessary to quickly bring it out. But I have the TAQS screen up and you can see Megan's stats, or Lady Miara's stats. So starts. These are more than your starts. These are your stats because you've gained stuff.
Yeah.
So I do believe you leveled up something. I can't remember which ones. If you guys want to go back on the previous stream and try and figure out.
Defense and attack because I got all the armor and stuff.
You bought armor, so it's not necessarily your base stats which are increased, but your buffs are increased because you're wearing it.
But I just mean like attack.
Yeah.
And stuff
So as long as you have that stuff with you, that's fine. Yeah. And then you did also talk to a lot of people and had a lot of luck involved with your trading. So there's been a lot of experience there, but you also already had some pretty high base stats in those. So they didn't necessarily level up because right now she would need 3,000 charisma experience in order to level up her charisma, and she has 803. But as she was mentioning, she did purchase some equipment last stream, so that's what you're seeing down here in the corner, and that is the reason for these buffs that are currently on at the moment. So that's definitely a nice addition to your stats because defense-wise you had none.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Future lover Marion. I called him Ari. Right? Yeah.
Yes.
And future child, I wanted to call him Emmett, but you named him something awful.
Amito. You rolled bad for your luck.
I know.
You can't always get what you want.
I should have rolled for his middle name and then just gone with whichever was better.
Amito Emmett, the third.
Yeah, I just called him by his middle name.
Yeah. So I'm getting the random generator up and running. But
can I show him?
Yeah. So
okay. I updated what she looks like. It's kind of the same. It's not that great. I'm still working on it, but like more specific. I don't know how it's showing. So I'm still working on her hair and stuff. She kind of looks like a lavender Navi from James Cameron's Avatar. And I didn't mean to do that, but that's what happened. But yeah, so she's a little bit black, soulless eyes, and trying to angle it at the camera so you can see the ears. I did some good shading. It's just getting lost. But anyway.
Do you want me to put the light on so that you can get that good lighting on?
I mean, if you want to, but that's just wasting everyone's time.
All right. Well,
I don't even know what I'm looking at.
Okay, that's the stats.
803. That looks nice.
That's experience. Yeah.
That looks nice.
You need 3,000 to level charisma up because you're at 30 right now. Yeah.
That goes to 31 after 3,000?
Yeah. But you're really good at charisma already, so it's hard to level up more. You could focus on things you're not good at, like strength and craftsmanship.
You thought I was actually going to throw that?
I was just imitating your motion with my hand.
Okay.
So I guess it's completely up to you. I will mention that at the moment you are currently in the clothing store, or actually no. So time would have passed. So since then you have gone back to the castle and your place of residence.
Get on with Ari? Not like all the way, but like.
I don't know. You know, it's kind of hard to tell. It's behind the castle walls from my omniscient third-person view. But let's open up the previous map just so the people on the stream can get an idea. And also, I believe you are able to see the map. But I will make that there. So, by the way, there might be some visual glitches. I don't know. It was doing something weird where if I opened this up, you could see my desktop through the paint window, and it was kind of weird. But the new areas that were added in are these ones over here in the shop district. So there was the blacksmith, the boutique, and the tool shop. And so you can see the little details I've added in here. I've cleaned everything up.
It's so cute. What's that box?
The box? Which box? This one?
Yeah.
That was like a little stand.
For people to protest?
No, it's like
Go protest?
it's like a lemonade stand kind of looking thing, but I don't think they're selling lemonade.
Mead. They're selling mead.
I mean, this is the shop district, so I guess they could have food.
I want a winged lizard like in Steven Universe.
A winged lizard?
Yeah.
Isn't that a dragon?
Yeah, kind of. And
why don't you just call it a dragon?
Well, it's from the book that they read, and then they go into his mom's room and they create it, and it's like really fat and it has tiny little wings, and when it opens its mouth, it's like ah! And it sounds like the screams of 1,000 souls, and it's beautiful.
Okay.
We can save that for later.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't think there's any random like monsters in the town right now, but
I know,
I don't know.
We're gonna save it for later.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Eventually. All right. Well, as I mentioned, you are currently in the castle, or the palace, as the map says. Mm-hmm. So the story is up to you.
I'm in the castle. What's some stuff I need to build? Strength, this, that?
Your current lowest stats are defense, although your defense is buffed at the moment. Craftsmanship is a 1, and strength is a 1.
Can I train with Mr. Knight Marion?
You could. You could
yeah.
spar.
Yeah, I want to train with him and raise those levels. And our relationship.
Oh, boy.
Everyone's probably doing like crazy stuff, like James is probably like running around everywhere, like everyone's setting traps and stuff, and I'm like, I'm gonna build a relationship with a knight in a castle. Like,
it sounds like you. So
I think it'd be cute if then I marry him and I adopt a child and I overthrow the queen.
Well, let's get into the story before we start daydreaming.
Should have overthrown the queen right when I started.
Yeah. Don't speak too loudly. She might hear you. So...
I should have overthrown the queen.
Alright. So you said you wanted to spar with Marion?
I wanted to train.
Train? What are you training? Like, what are you doing?
I figure it would, with my sword,
mm-hmm.
attack and defense, like guarding and attacking, and like all that stuff, but because it's training and not just outright fighting, I have less possibility of getting hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. So I mean,
like he's not gonna outright just be like, bah, right hook.
I mean, well, so this would be nice for you because I don't know that you have been in one fight. You were it was kind of a battle with the
the hooligans
people.
In the alley.
So let's just consider this an actual fight, and then, but it's a sparring match, so things will be planned out accordingly. So you meet up with Marion in the field next to the palace, and so now you are. I should really go check some. Here, let me go see. I think that there was maybe a picture we had with the actual battle you had previously, because I wanted to keep Marion's stats.
Oh yeah, did he fight with me last time?
He was with you.
That's right.
When you
that's right.
were in the battle. That's James.
Oh. We need to label these better. Give us separate folders.
Yeah, I was thinking about that.
Stuff from my adventure, stuff from James's adventure.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll just see how things go with the current situation. So.
I can't believe they got engaged. Sorry, I'm still listening. I'm letting him do his thing though.
All right.
Little donkey baby. I want to be cuddled by cows.
You want to be cuddled by cows? You want to be cuddled by those cows from the...
look at that lion.
You want to be cuddled by those cows from the
it's just a video
West of Loathing?
No. Oh my god, it's a giant goose wanting a hug. Oh, that is so cute. So, it's just a video compilation of a bunch of animals snuggling humans. Oh, that one's a seal. Oh my god, that's a little chicken.
Alright. And then 6 and luck.
Oh my goodness.
And agility is 5. Alright. And then I will remind you, you do have magic. I don't think we've really
I haven't tried that yet.
Done anything with that, but maybe.
I don't know what kind of spells I can do.
I don't know. I mean, you have a decent level in magic, so I feel like you could kind of just do something and see if it works. But so then we need to check out Marion's stats. So let's see. And I will remind you that you are technically not supposed to see these. So if you, I don't think you can really see them from there, but
yeah. That's great.
All right. Okay, so the battle begins. So you are currently taking the first turn in the battle due to your agility. So I'll just remind the viewers how this works. Basically, you each take a turn. It's turn-based, and then you every other turn you can't use. Oh, every turn you can't use the stats that you previously used. So you can choose to use like a portion of your attack.
If I have 50 attack, I can use 10, and then I'll have 40 on the next turn.
Yes, exactly. And then that rolls over the next time. So you could continually use 10 attack, but that would be inefficient. It would be. I mean, if you really wanted to attack the most you could both times, you could do 25 each time, assuming you had 50 total.
Yeah.
And it would continually roll over.
And be 25 and
yeah.
flip-flop, yeah.
Or you can just do all of it at once and then take like a strategic turn on the next one and do something. So,
and I could do strength and then I could do magic.
Yeah. So that's the benefit of having two different types of attack. And strength isn't necessarily used for attack. Strength is more for carrying.
Yeah. No, I know.
The attack
I just mean
stat
attack,
is the only thing. Yeah.
Question. Because my magic is fairly high, right?
Mm.
And my influence and whatever is pretty high. If I decide to not use those and strictly go for defense attack, will my experience go up faster on those since I'm not relying on the other skills?
So the way that I usually do it is based off of like how often you use that stat in that specific run.
Right, so if I'm using it more because I'm not using the others.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Just making sure, because that's what I want to build right now. I'm just trying to get like a well-rounded character.
Mm-hmm. Well-rounded. Let's start the battle.
No okay, let's continue.
So it's your turn, and so your health is 7 at a base. You have an 18 attack and a defense of 6. You have 20 luck, so you could pretty much abuse that if you wanted to. But you also have agility and magic. So agility is 5 and magic is 13.
Can I put together ability and attack to like make it a combo move?
You can. So
do a cartwheel sword thrust.
But you have to remember that you're using all of those stats in one turn. So and also just a reminder for the people watching, the way that you attack or use any stat, you can buff that with luck. So it gives a random number between 0 and the proportion you choose from that stat, but you can move that 0 up to a certain point by using some of your luck stat. So, yeah, so it is your turn. How would you like to
I have 5
go
agility?
Back? Yes.
I want to use 2 agility and combine it with how much attack?
You have 18 total.
9 attack.
Okay. I'm trying to figure out like what exactly are you using the agility for?
Speed.
All right.
Like a quick thing.
Okay. Do you want to use any luck?
5.
You're using 5 luck. All right. So you managed to deal 5 damage, which lowers Marion's defenses somewhat. So, but you don't necessarily know these stats, so it's kind of ambiguous. Then Marion attacks back.
I don't have a fucking shield. Oh, sorry, language. I don't have a shield.
A fudgin'.
I don't have a candy shield. A fudge shield. That's what I have to say.
Marion completely whiffs and does no damage nor any effect to your defense.
Okay.
It's your turn.
I'll just use a standard 9 attack by itself.
Alright. And you do have 15 luck to work with.
I'll do 10.
That wouldn't make any sense. So the way that it works is it's a random number between 0 and 9 since you're using 9 attack.
So it's between 0 and 15.
And well, so if you used 10 luck, then it would still just be between 9 and 9. You would just be using 1 extra. You're moving the minimum up with luck.
Right.
Yeah. So you could use 9 luck, and it would be an instant 9. Yeah. Okay.
Let's do 9. 9 luck and 9 attack.
All right. So that means you deal 9 damage.
I want to do like a swoop at his feet. I don't want to like slice his ankles open. I want to like not even use my sword. Just do like a ground thing.
A ground thing.
Yeah.
Alright, I think that might require a little bit more agility.
Alright, put in some agility!
Yeah, so would you use 2 last time? You're gonna use 3 agility?
I'm gonna use... Yeah, that'll take more agility than just 2. So yeah, do 3.
Alright. You don't necessarily do what you're planning, but you still manage to deal 9 damage to Marion's leg.
Is he still standing?
He's now kneeling because the one leg is slightly damaged. But you deal 9 damage, so we bring this down 9.
For the record, I can't read whatever you're reading.
Yeah, you're not supposed to.
I know, I'm just that I can't.
Alright, so Marion will now attack back. And he actually connects this time, making contact with your arm, and
you're not giving me a chance to like defend against his attack.
You would have to use your turn to
beforehand.
So you can either attack or you can like prepare to be attacked. That's your choice. So you can like move away so that it's difficult for them to attack you.
Backflip if he came toward me.
It's not, that's not how it works. You gotta choose things. You can't just do everything.
Fine. So, he rips open my arm.
No, it's a sparring match. You're not actually killing each other. Gosh. Alright, so it's now your turn. He dealt 4 damage to your defenses, but your health is still at 7.
You just cut my arm. Can I boomerang blade?
You're gonna what?
I'm gonna you attach the swords at the handle.
You're gonna put them together and
And you boomerang it. It's a boomerang blade.
Since when is this a boomerang?
That's just what it's called. Because it spins like a boomerang.
So you're gonna have like a Darth Maul tiny metal blade thing.
They're not supposed to be tiny. They're supposed to be full-length swords.
They're like rapiers by themselves, and if they're connected, then they're like.
No, they're supposed to be full-length swords.
What are you doing?
I don't know. I said boomerang blade, but like he just cut my arm, so I'm just thinking like I only have one arm to work with.
He just like hit you in the arm, like.
With what? His sword? His shield?
You just use the stats. It's not like a. You have to decide how you're attacking each time. Like.
Yeah, you do, because if your arm's cut open, you can't really use
You just have a general health. It's not like there's a health for your leg and a health for your arm and things like that. I'm sorry I can't keep track of that much stuff. It would waste so much time, much like we're doing right now.
Oh, I dropped my phone.
Oh no.
I'm gonna make a move on it. I'm gonna take my sword things. And like through his shirt.
You're gonna cut his shirt off?
No, I'm gonna like stick him to something.
Oh, okay.
How does that work?
I guess that would be an agility move.
Yeah, 2 agility, whatever I have on luck, and 9 attack.
So you're trying to deal damage as well.
Oh no, I guess not. No attack.
So yeah, you have 2 agility to work with, and you can make
agility and luck.
All right, so you use your luck to buff up your agility so that it automatically rolls a 2, but that's still pretty low. So what happens is your sword, one of the swords, does pierce the shirt and stick him to the wall behind him, but the other one misses, and then you still have that in your hand. But since you did that, you currently only have 1 sword with you.
Okay.
So your attack is temporarily 15 total, because each sword is 3.
Right.
Alright, so it is now Marion's turn. So Marion is now slightly inhibited by the being stuck to a wall. So in his turn, he uses his agility to attempt to remove the sword from the wall. He makes some progress, but is not able to in the time that you are able to make your next move.
Okay, I want to disarm.
You're trying to disarm him. So, is that going to be... Are you trying to agility, like swipe it away? Or what are you doing?
I guess so.
Alright. So, I mean, on this turn you would have 3... you would have 3 agility to work with.
Do I have any luck? No, I use
Yeah, you have a crazy amount of luck. Like, you could probably use luck every turn, and unless you were using all of your attack at once, it wouldn't be a problem.
I'll do half of my luck.
Well,
3/4 of my luck.
Because you can only bring it up to 3. Your agility, you currently have 3 agility.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can bring the agility up to 3. You know.
So I'm saying agility 3. I'm talking about my luck.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The luck buffs the minimum of the random chance. So if you have 3 total that you can get, you can use luck to make it completely get 3.
Yes, I want 3.
Okay. So, you roll a 3. And so you swipe at Marion's sword, knocking it to the ground, although it is still within reach at the moment. So, now... Apparently it took his hand with him, but let's ignore that. Alright, so you that was your turn, and Marion now has his turn. So I'm going to roll something. Marion is still currently attached to the wall, so as opposed to reaching for his sword, he reaches and grabs your sword out of the wall, and now has the smaller sword.
I'm gonna grab his sword.
Hold on.
And I'm ready to
I'm adjusting things.
Attack again.
This is.
Just make his hand my hand.
Hmm.
Just make his hand my hand. Just pull his sword out.
Are you? So you're. That's your turn. Is you're gonna try and grab his sword?
Yeah.
All right. So are you gonna use your 2 with 2 luck agility? Because you keep alternating which ones you're using.
Yeah, but I want to do it as like a... Yeah.
Okay. So you roll a 2. You manage to grab his sword, but you are currently very close to in the motion of reaching down for the sword. You are somewhat vulnerable to a counterattack because now Marion is free from his his hold on the wall. So your attack now is not 15, but is now 21 because of the sword combination you have. And so Marion now has his turn, and he chooses to attack. So Marion strikes and unfortunately completely misses his attack. Right, so it is your turn.
I am gonna go. What do I have right now? 3.
Yeah, you just used your 2. So I just grabbed something.
So I have my 3 agility. I have what, 20 luck?
Yeah.
Or 18 luck.
You have 18 luck. You have 21 attack. And 2 defense right now.
I'm gonna use my... I'm gonna do 12 attack. No, I'll do 18 attack.
You're gonna use 18 attack?
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
14 luck.
Alright. So a random number between 14 and 18. You roll a 14, completely lowering Marion's defenses to 0 and leaving him more vulnerable to a direct attack. Marion then retaliates and deals 4 damage to you, lowering your defenses completely and dealing 2 health.
So I have 5
bringing
left.
you down to 5, yes.
And I can't know what his health is.
No. But you have 3 attack on this turn. And 2 luck. Oh no, you have 6 luck because you used 14.
I'm gonna use 3 attack the 6 luck and my 5 agility.
Okay, so you're trying to do like a swift power blow.
I'm gonna knock my thing back out of his hand.
You said 6 luck? What was it? You said 3 attack.
2 luck.
2 luck?
Because I used my 18. No, I used 14.
Yeah, so you can use 6 if you want.
But I can only do 3 attacks, so I'll do 3.
Okay.
And then my 5 agility.
Alright, so in the process of this turn, you're trying to deal damage and also knock his sword out? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. So
maybe like body slam him and knock it out.
I got you.
Because I don't want to like slice his hand off.
Alright, so
we're gonna need that later.
Oh, so you can shake hands. So you deal 3 damage directly to his health, and you also manage to knock the small sword out of his hand, once again still within reach but not on his hand, and he loses slightly more of his hand. Alright, then it is Marion's turn. He does not have your sword, so his attack is slightly lowered, but he goes in for a shoulder check, and he connects, dealing 1 damage to your health, bringing you down to 4. So you do have almost all of your attack this turn. You have 18. And you also have 17 luck, but no agility.
No, it's fine. I'm thinking I want to take... I want to knock him to the ground. I don't want to knock him unconscious. I want to knock him to the ground.
Well, you don't necessarily have any agility right now, so...
Well, that would be attack.
So, yeah. Are you trying to deal damage? Is that what you're trying to do?
Yeah. I'm trying to knock him down.
Alright. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, agility is kind of like the strategic movement kind of play, but attack is just attack. Like.
Right, but I don't want to, like, actually hurt him. Does that make sense?
Well,
I don't
so
want to kill him.
what I'm saying right now is you're sparring, so it's not necessarily like you die in this case. It's just kind of like you're practicing.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm attacking him.
Okay.
I'm trying to take him out. So I'm going to use all my attack.
You use 18?
Yeah. And how much luck do I have?
You have 17.
Use 15.
Alright. So you use 15 luck and 18 attack. You roll a perfect 18, completely lowering Marion's health to 0, winning the battle.
Okay. I'm gonna help him up.
Alright.
And while I'm doing that, I'm not gonna like kiss him or anything, but like I'm gonna use my... What do I have for luck right now?
Well, I mean the battle's over, so you can.
No, I know.
Yeah.
So it refreshes?
Yeah. In the battle phase, that's how it works. But then when you get into just like normal situations, you can just say you want to do something, and then I roll luck.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like as she's helping him up, you said she has magic, right?
Yeah.
And what's her like persuasiveness?
30.
And her magic is
13.
I'm gonna do 10 magic of enchantment and use 20 of my persuasiveness.
Well, you could just tell me what you're doing, and then I roll all of it.
I'm not trying to like make him fall in love with me, but I'm trying to like enchant his mind, just like think about me more. So
you're not going to like subliminally demoralize him for his loss. That's not what you're doing.
No.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm not like...
I'm just putting it out there that it's an option.
No. I'm not doing that. That's awful. That's not what you do in a healthy relationship. Anyway, so I kind of, like, basically want to use my magic and persuasiveness, like, put the thoughts in his head that, like, hey, wow, she's pretty cool. Not be, like, straight up like, oh my god, I'm in love with her, I need to be, like, not like that, but just, like...
Okay. So you're trying to play off as, like, a cool winner, but also, like someone he should look up to and maybe admire.
And eventually fall in love with. Okay. Like, wow, she's kick-ass. She'd be a great partner. Partner. Like, but I want to use, like, 2/3 of all my stuff.
So you're not trying to, like, overdo it. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
All right. So, okay, I can work with those statistics.
I want him to have some of his own, like, thoughts. I don't want to just completely control him like a puppet. I'm literally just putting the thoughts in his head that, hey, she'd be cool, and he can think about it. He can think on it.
So your attempt to magically enchant him does absolutely nothing, but your persuasive gesture and conversation does seem to put a small twinkle in his eye as he looks up from the ground and you help him up to his feet.
Success.
Also, at the moment, you still have his sword and yours is on the ground. I don't know if you want to...
I mean, we switch back. It's
okay,
fine. I just figured that just happens at the end of battle.
Yeah. I mean, like, if you were actually, like, battling someone, then you could potentially loot their body, but this was a sparring match.
No, we switch back. I give him his stuff back. He gives me mine.
Although, at the moment, you are technically low on health, but, like you're not in danger. I'm just putting it out there.
So I'm on. How do you get health back? Eating?
Yeah, eating, resting, like, just time. Yeah.
What do I have on persuasiveness and stuff?
A lot.
Well, I just figure I can, like, ask him what the chances are of, eating at the castle, like, at a grand feast.
You want to see if you can get some food from Marion?
Yeah.
So you propose the idea of having a feast this evening, and he seems to be somewhat interested, although he says that his jurisdiction is somewhat limited and it would have to be passed by the monarch.
Let's go to the monarch.
Alright, so you're going to the monarch. Let me see, I think I have yeah. Let's take this off for a second.
I'm living it up, guys.
Living it up at
Do I have my own room in the castle?
California. I think that's the idea, yeah.
Okay.
Queen's Foyer. Oh, I don't have any stats on that. That's not... Never mind. We're just going to play it where I just redo everyone's stats every time we see each other.
Let me get you, like, a D&D stat sheet.
Yeah, well, I'm keeping up on, like, actual player stats, but, like, NPC characters...
Well, that's what I'm saying, though.
I can't say NPC characters because the C is characters, so that doesn't make sense. But yeah.
But I just mean, like, get you a little binder and organize it with different stuff. Yo, my nails match my pants, which matches my hair. Guys, I really like purple.
Yeah, she's been very purple lately.
Purple water bottle. I don't have a purple umbrella, though.
Alright. So you are before the monarch. And Marion's here.
So I'm going to be bringing up the fact that we propose a small feast, just a small feast, within, the castle's higher-ups and whatever, in celebration of the hooligans that we took out, the people that were, like, destroying the town and everything.
You don't want to invite the hooligans?
No.
Oh, okay.
But because they were destroying town and it's been a couple days and there haven't been any more occurrences, we should celebrate.
Okay, so you propose the feast to the monarch, and the monarch seems to be pleased by the actual idea, and calls forth to her assistants, saying that they should gather a feast and to invite the nobles of the town to the feast. And apparently now she's wearing some fashionable bell-bottom pants. So, the feast is brought forth in the evening of the day, and you are sitting at a very large table with a large garnish of fruits and orangutan and that's a joke. It's a Monty Python reference.
Okay, I was like, orangutan.
5 is just out of the question. So yeah, you're here. There's some nobles and Marion's there because Marion's cool. And the queen is at the head of the table.
Of course.
You are somewhat mid-length down the table, and there's.
Be sitting next to Marion.
Yes, you are. Good. And there's some other various people. What are you looking at?
Chris.
Oh.
He was out there with the dog. I heard the door open. I was like, he's looking around. I opened up the windows and he's like started looking around. I'm like, where'd all that light come from? Sorry guys, the porch is literally right outside this window. So.
Yeah. So the table is full of monarchs, and there is a large pheasant.
Oh my God, Miara's hair.
And that's I mean that's what a pheasant looks like. So you got to get over it. And there's some grapes. I don't know. I'm just waiting for you to decide to do something.
Oh, I just figured.
Small finger sandwiches.
Converse.
Well, do you want to talk to the nobles or what are you doing?
I'm just conversing with everyone in a pleasant manner. I'm just trying to
raise... so you're playing the Sims card where it's like they go to work and you're just like have fun at work, like you just
yes
so
yeah
you just
socialize with coworkers, suck up to boss, like just kind of.
So you're just generally having a pleasant conversation.
Of course, and I'm glancing at Ari every once in a while.
And everybody seems to be listening to your words and providing various comments back to further the conversation along. In the situation, you actually gain a slight buff in charisma due to your attention that you've received. So you gain a positive 4 charisma. So you're just generally talking, and
I'm flirting with Arya
in the event you actually do regain your health from the feast. So there's also a bowl of other fruit.
I'm just finding ways to eat free, guys. Like,
And some long breads.
Baguettes?
They're possibly baguettes, although I will say that not every long bread is a baguette, as I learned when I was attempting to buy a baguette in France.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're about 45 minutes. I don't know if there's anything else you want to necessarily do before.
I think I'm doing pretty good. I'm just trying to hint to Ari.
Oh, so do you want to
That's what I'm saying.
Directly
I'm
aim
talking to
a
everybody.
conversation?
I'm talking to everybody, but kind of span off. Like if you and I are at dinner with our family, they're all talking about stuff, and you're like, oh okay, and then I'll start talking to you, I guess.
So, you mentioned all of these, you're keeping up the conversation, but still kind of aiming some passing comments here and there. to your friend Marion here, and abruptly, Marion stands up from his chair and gets down on one knee and proposes to you.
Is he really?
That's what the numbers rolled, Megan.
I've known him for 3 days.
No, I mean, the time passes when you're not playing.
Fair enough. I wasn't expecting this. I don't know. I mean, I kind of have to say yes. I'm in front of the queen and stuff. But I will apologize to her later because that was not the intent of the dinner. Like, I don't want her to think that I just, like, had her throw me a party, like a proposal party.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So I need to convince her later that it was definitely for the people, but I will accept. It was a different time. People got arranged marriages and stuff anyway, so at least I knew him for a couple weeks, right?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
So you're saying
we'll
yes?
We'll say yes, but we're gonna not get married right away.
Yes. Alright, so Marion is very excited by your acceptance of his proposal, and
I haven't even kissed him yet.
And then yeah, so everybody's like, woo. Yeah.
Woohoo! Alright!
Alright.
Yeah! We did it! Just kidding.
Get a room. Yeah. Alright, so is there anything you want to do?
I think that's a good place to stop. I just have to remember to apologize to the queen next time we start.
Okay, so we'll call it off there, but I will make the...
I thought he was just gonna like walk away. He did it. He went for it.
You rolled a total 30 on your charisma when you were flirting at him.
Natural 30. No, I'm just kidding.
Alright, so... Oh, and you also got that charisma buff, too, so that helped.
Oh, God.
She's too powerful, guys.
Married. Or,
we're not married.
Engaged.
Engaged. Fiancé.
Why is it... Yeah, Marion. So... Just got engaged in castle. Alright, so that's where we're going to call it quits. I want to thank you guys for watching if you have been this long. And so...
Sorry, I'm a pain.
There is an entire playlist of these if you are... This is the first one you're watching for some reason. So you can go check those out. I'll put a link to it at the end. But we're going to be signing off. So I should have a stream on Tuesday with another cover. I am going to be starting up school, so I mean, anything can happen, I guess, with that in terms of seeing how assignments are. And so we should be keeping the same schedule as I'm working in my classes as opposed to my internship, because, I mean, they should take up about the same time, theoretically. So other than that, I'm going to be signing off. Is there anything you want to say before we finish off here?
I think I discovered that my favorite store is the Container Store. It's beautiful. And the closets that they had there for organization was $18,000. And I think it's worth it.
Okay, so you heard it here first. No context on the Container Store, but we're going to be signing off. So thank you and goodbye.